Welcome student, another tutorial of JavaScript. If you remember, last time we learned conditional statements, and I told last time we'll start looping on next tutorial. So today we are going to start looping. So let's start. And before moving ahead, number of time has recommended this software for programming. You can download it from the same link, or you can Google it. That is Visual Studio Code. Now, the JavaScript loops are used to iterate or loop the piece of code using for, while, do while, or for in loops. It's make the code compact, and it is mostly used in array when the same type of values you have to use again and again. So, in such a situation, you can use looping statements. Let me tell you one simple example. Suppose sometimes you search some trains or flights or whatever you search on net for particular between suppose two cities, and the number of trains comes. So what the actually happen, I'm actually discussing about the code, what the code written by the programmer behind that page. So whenever you type those two values, on the basis of those values, the code blocks search the data from database and count the number of things. If suppose 10 different values or 10 pairs or 10 trains or different things come, so 10 times the loop will run and print the value. We'll learn how we can print those values also in the web page with the help of looping. So there are four types of loop. First one is the for loop, while loop, do while loop, and for in loop. That we will learn later on. So today we will learn for loop. So let's start. So how this for loop actually work? The JavaScript for loop iterates the elements for a fixed number of times. So you keep this thing in your mind when you already know how many times you have to run the loop. Then that time what the loop you have to prefer, for loop. It should be used if the number of iteration, or iteration I mean the looping is known. You already know how many times of loop is required to run. The simple syntax is for the initialization, where the loop will start, the condition up to which actually value have to go, increment, or we can say a decrement also. Okay, the value will be increased, how many times the value for loop will be increased. Practically I'll show you, so you will understand. And you can use decrement also, and within this curly bracket, whatever the code come, that code will execute up to the loop run. Got it? So initialization, the initialization where we initialize our counter to starting a value, means from where the loop will start. So this called initialization statement, and it is executed before the loop. You can take care. Next is condition, or we can say also test statement. The test statement which will test if a condition is true or not. If the condition is true, then the code given inside the loop will be executed, otherwise the control will come out from the loop and loop will not execute. Got it? Next is the increment or decrement statement. It's increase or decrease the value. Suppose 10 times you have to go and you're starting from 1, so this increment, every time the loop executed once, then it will be increased. The 1 will become 2, then 2 will become 3. If suppose you are not increasing or decreasing the value, the loop will become infinite loop. Got it? So like this you can use increment or decrement statement. Got it? Now next, this is the simple flowchart of the diagram. Just check here, loop started, condition tested, condition become true, move back the conditional code, again value increase, then tested, then become true, then repeated, and as soon as the condition become false, it will come out from the loop. Got it? I'll show you one code also, a simple example, 2-3 example practically I'll show you, so you can easily understand how this loop is actually working, and that will help you to make a simple for loop code. Okay, so just check, this is the simple code, however actually it's become so complicated. Let me show you make a simple program, so you will understand. But we'll simple print the numbers. Okay, we'll not going to write the so messy and bulky code. Let me start the application. We'll make a simple program. Okay, let me select the folder where we'll make. Go to the file, open folder, wherever you want to store this. Suppose this one looping statement and this HTML folder. Now select the folder. Okay, now create here a file, new file. Give the name whatever you want. Suppose for.html I given. We'll make a simple program here. Just start your code with HTML, as generally we do. Every HTML code start with HTML. Close it with HTML, and within this HTML tag we have to place all the thing. Now body tag, within the body tag we have to place the different thing. Take the head tag also, otherwise it's create problem sometimes. If you without a head tag you run, so what happened, this Visual Studio Code actually generate a error. However, it is not compulsory. For loop, just mention the for loop heading. Okay, now take script tag. So this is the script tag. Close it. Script tag close. And now within this script actually we have to write the JavaScript code. Now when you type the for, it will suggest you, just check, it will suggest you. When you take in the for like this, for here, just check, it's already suggesting you. So that's why I'm actually every time I recommend कि you must use what, this Visual Code Studio. It will suggest you how it will work. So this is the initialization of that condition. Suppose here I've taken where I equal 0, starting from 0, and what I mentioned, I value is less than 5, so up to 5, and I plus plus. So every time the loop repeat, the increase the value of I by 1. Now what dot document, this you already know, dot write the value of I, and then what you can concatenate with the okay, let me just print and then I'll show you why I am suggesting this. Suppose like this. So what will happen, this code you already made. Now go to the program and you can just run. Let me open, just check what will happen. Just check, it's saying for loop 0 1 2 3. It's actually not coming in a proper way. So what we can do, just move back to the program here, plus we are concatenating and apply a break tag. Okay, and before starting here, and give some break also here, br tag. So this for loop will be separated. Now save it and now run the program and just check what will happen. This time this will be separated. Now 0, then break, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. Now just check the program. What I mentioned is starting from 0, so 0 is also counting 0 1 2 3 4. So up to 4 means 5 times this loop will run. Okay, if you take in here, suppose greater less than or equal to 5, so that 5 also will be counted. Save it and just go into the web page and refresh it. Just check. Now it's 5, it's coming. So total 6 value are coming. 1, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Got it? So now this loop you can actually use to repeat the statement again and again till condition true. So the condition is what? Actually starting from 0, then 0 here, 0 i's value is 0, 0 is less than or equal to 5, yes, less than true, go to inside the loop, print the I value, then come back to the loop, I plus plus, now 0 become 1, 1 is less than 5, yes, then again go inside the loop, then come 2, then become 3, then become 4, then 5, and at last that it becomes 6, then it will come out from the loop. Got it? So like this you can use the for loop to print different values. You can even prompt the users also to take the input from the user, and you can print the particular tables of number or whatever you want. Suppose that prompt one, if you remember that prompt function that are used for taking input from the user. So you can take that input from the user and print the table of particular number. Suppose that you want to print the table of particular number, suppose up to 10 here I am taken, up to 10, and starting from the 1 and a number of table number of 5. So how you can do that? You can just multiply by 5. Just check what will happen. Just check. 5 1 5, 10, 12, 50. Got it? You can even you can decorate in a proper manners also. So that is up to you how you actually apply all this concept, and this is the way actually you can use the for loop. Got it? So use this at home and do it practically, and apply different concepts. So these are the basics actually. These are the basics that will actually give you idea how the looping statement work. The similar way you can use this loop with the other objects also, but that is even not part of your syllabus. That you will learn in 11th and 12th standard, how you can use this for loop or how you can use the object in the looping. Got it? So first you do all this numeric operation with the help of looping, then later on I'll explain you some other thing, and this is from the actually for loop only. Move back to the presentation, and you can take the snaps of this also. You can make this program also. However, this actually it's showing like complicated, but this is not the complicated. Here the instead of I, what I've taken count is starting from 0 up to the 10, then current count is printing, and even the break tag also I've taken to break the line, so the value will come in the next line. Got it? And last when the loop is when we come out from the loop, the document print loop stopped, and this is the thing of looping. Got it? So this is from the for loop. The rest of the loop we'll learn in the next tutorial. Till that, thank you, student. Thank you very much.